Welcome to Slime Media. This is my review on Winning Time, Season 1, Episode 7, titled Invisible Man. Wow, this is a very, very long episode, the Lakers show. Wow, a lot of stuff to talk about on this episode, so I'm just going to break down in parts of characters, what every character was up to in this episode. This episode pretty much see Magic Johnson, going through the reins and all that, dealing with his love life, his, on and off, on again relationship with his future wife Cookie. The shows, of course, them being in just college together, how that worked, and also with him, going against Larry Bird. And like I said about how they did Larry Bird, this episode right here, they made Larry Bird like a straight douche, like a straight a-hole. Larry Bird did not give a crap. They had Larry Bird like I'm coming to win. That's it. I ain't talking about nothing. And Magic's looking like, cause he white and they in Boston, like they rocking with him, even though he ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't even saying nothing like and all that. Magic Johnson just feels more fierce and more competitiveness in him and everything, wants to just show out and just beat Larry Bird and everything like that. So that's pretty what Magic Johnson kind of had going on this episode. This Irvin, I should say. That's all the thing he had going. That's mainly the thing we had going on. Pretty much, him and his dad having differences because he's trying to. He feels like the agent ain't the best agent for him, not making the right deal. Also, caused him a big deal with Nike dealing with that agent. So a lot of deals you see, like Magic Johnson make the best decisions at first. Going into coming into the league and all. So him, him and his dad had differences between that. But also the main thing about that with Magic, the situation with him and his girl Cookie. He's talking to Cookie, they liking each other and all that. But the friend, supposed to be Cookie's friend and all that, we see she ends up hooking up with Magic and all that behind Cookie's back. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, Magic Johnson was a wild dude back in the day. But like, wow, her own friend, like, dang. Man, these hoes ain't loyal. I mean, like, that's straight up, like, that supposed to be a homegirl. I'm like, these hoes ain't loyal. So, dang. You can say Magic wrong too in there, but dang, the friend, because I saw in there, but something like, look like, kind of like, but like, wow, okay. Wow, dang. Now, the biggest part about Coach Whitehead. Coach Whitehead is struggling for his team to win games and everything like that. They're barely beating teams they should beat that are really good and everything like that. So Whitehead, he's struggling with that and everything. So eventually he calls up Pat Riley. This is, of course, how we get to see Pat Riley gets up his ranks and he's becoming, ends up becoming the head coach of the Lakers. But, he calls, Whitehead's the one that calls him up and say, hey, I need Pat, I need your help. And Pat Riley gets up coaching him, telling him how he should do, how he should, run the team and everything like that. And long story short, get to that. They're struggling, and the big game is Boston. If they don't beat Boston, Whitehead's gonna lose his job. He's gonna get fired, and McKinney's gonna get replaced by Elgin Baylor. They show Elgin played by the wonderful my man Orlando Jones from Drumline, Biker Boys. A lot of the stuff Orlando Jones has been in. I'm like, boy, I ain't seen Orlando Jones' son in a minute. That's all I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And I forgot another TV show he was on as well. Orlando Jones was on. So to see that, I'm like, wow, okay, my boy Orlando Jones in this thing, playing Elgin Baylor and all that. And Pat Riley has, this probably a little bit of one of those scenes that were just a little bit, over exaggerated, but, ends up, Pat Riley ends up pushing Whitehead into the shower, and Pat ends up spraying water on him and telling him, like, yo, get in the game, get your head in the game, this is it. They calling Elgin Baylor now, because Pat, like, I just risked my job being an announcer for doing this for you. So he's like, man, come on, you got to help me out. So dang, so, so wow, so it's a tense moment between them. So, the game against Boston is, the biggest game, with their careers and all and everything. Now we're gonna go with Jerry Buss. Jerry Buss, we found out thought like it was Alzheimer's mom going through, but his mother's going through cancer. So we see him helping his mom out when she's in cancer, but also in the same hospital room. I say same hospital vicinity. McKinney is there. Jack McKinney is there, and he's trying to recover. Hope he can be better. And Jerry Buss is saying Jerry West and all of them are feeling like, hey man, if your man don't work out, we got to find somebody to replace him. And he feeling like, dang, and all that. Long story short, he tells, hey, they do end up being Boston, and everything that does happen. But in the end, Jerry Buss tells him like, hey, you think I can win with McKinney, or it got to be, win with Whitehead, or you got to come back, Jack. And Jack said, nah, you can't probably win the championship with Whitehead. You're going to need me there and all that. So, it's funny how they put a game Monopoly and said chances on. Let's just see and all that. So, of course, we do know what happened. But to see everything they went through and everything that was going on for them to get to that championship and win it, it's definitely remarkable that I'm surprised I never heard this story before and all that. Even like I said, I didn't grow up on the Lakers and all that, or even on the Bulls for that matter, or anything like that. I grew up on the Kobe Bryant 2000 Lakers and all that and everything like that. Some of what you see on my poster board back here, you know. So I didn't really know about these Lakers, but everything they went through, wow, and all that, everything. And it was so funny when Magic Johnson actually wins and beats Larry Bird. How Larry Bird just just pretty much tells the F off, tell the reporters and all the F off when he loses and all that and everything. But just to see, when Whitehead does have to use Haywood, because of a comment, Haywood made towards Whitehead when it was at the hospital, like I talked about, last episode about, hey, when Cooper was being so nervous and all in the hospital and everything. But, he does go with his gut and just like Pat tells him, hey, these are men, not, students here. Hey, just tell them, hey, man, put them back in the game. And he does put Hayward back in the game and it helps him come back and beat Boston and everything like that by getting physical and all that with them because Boston was a very physical team. So, it's just fun seeing, Magic and Larry, how they were back in their younger days, going at how they was and how much rivals they were. So, like I said, another solid good episode of Winning Time. I'm really enjoying this. Definitely entertained by this season. Entertained by this series and all that. And I heard it just got renewed for a season 2. So I can't wait. Hopefully, season 2 talk about all the Lakers championships, everything they went through. Hope they have somebody. Hopefully, we hear about Michael Jordan when he first came. And how was a young Michael Jordan? I like to see who they get an actor to play Michael Jordan and all that. That's gonna be very interesting. So I'm really entertained and enjoying, very much enjoying this series. So that's everything that pretty much was going on in this episode. So let me know in the comments what you think and all that. Like I said, if you like the content, please don't hesitate to hit that like, subscribe button for Slime Media. This is my review on Winning Time. Like I said, y'all be safe and have a blessed day. I'm out.